In 2025, something game-changing is brewing behind Koenigsegg's closed doors, and it's far more than just another incremental upgrade. No one else can do what we're doing. If you want this, you simply can't get it anywhere else. That quiet confidence turned into industry whispers when words like new engine wiped the floor and electric cars started swirling, sparked by a cryptic statement from the CEO himself. We never stop developing it because it gives enormous freedom to the combustion engine. No dramatic unveilings, no viral teasers, just a deliberate the radar move that could flip everything we thought we knew about the future of high performance. If you think the electric vehicle race is over, think again. Koenigsegg might be on the verge of doing the impossible, and the rest of the world has no idea what's coming. From day point one, Koenigsegg refused to chase industry trends. While big manufacturers poured billions into massive engineering teams and polished branding to shave milliseconds off lap times, Christian von Koenigsegg and his small crew were quietly crafting street-legal rockets in a modest workshop in Ängelholm, Sweden. No flashy ad campaigns, no rich heritage to lean on. Just a single uncompromising goal: to build the fastest, most revolutionary cars on Earth and prove that a small, fiercely independent brand could out-engineer the first creation. The CC-8s fired the opening shot. Then came the CCR, briefly crowned the world's fastest production car, but it was the Bud JAGS that forced the entire industry to take notice. In 2017, the AJRS obliterated the production car speed record, clocking in at 277.9 miles per hour effortlessly. It didn't just edge past the competition, it made them look outdated overnight. While rival brands obsessed over perfecting traction control, Koenigsegg was out there rewriting the laws of physics. But this obsession with speed was never just about straight-line performance. Every detail, from the monocoque tub to the triplex suspension, reflected a philosophy: everything must serve performance, and anything that doesn't goes. No fluff, no gimmicks, just raw engineering. And that's what separates Koenigsegg. It's not just about horsepower, it's about control, balance, ingenuity. Then came the Regera, a car that didn't even have a traditional gearbox. Koenigsegg called it direct drive, a revolutionary setup that eliminated the need for gear changes entirely. The result: seamless acceleration with hybrid torque that could turn your insides to soup. And yet, even with 3 electric motors and a twin-turbo V8 under the hood, it somehow felt elegant, like the world's fastest grand piano. Of course, none of this would matter without the man behind it. Christian isn't your typical CEO. He's part inventor, part speed freak, part philosopher, he once said. But that doesn't mean it's reckless. There's always purpose behind the madness. He's obsessed with thermodynamics, power, weight ratios, and how to extract more energy from less fuel. He's also one of the few people who can sketch out an engine idea on a napkin and then watch it come alive 6 months later. Behind every Koenigsegg model is a years-long process of trial, failure, reinvention, and finally perfection. And once it hits perfection, they start again. Because in their world, good enough means nothing. It's why they handcraft components other manufacturers outsource, why they invent their own carbon fiber technology, why they build a 3D printer just to make titanium exhaust tips. Every shortcut avoided is a second shaved off the track. That mindset is what turned Koenigsegg from a boutique supercar maker into a name that makes Ferrari and Bugatti lose sleep. And while the industry is now charging headfirst into an electric future, Koenigsegg has remained cautious, not reluctant, just methodical. Because Christian knows something that many don't: speed alone doesn't win the war. Innovation does. The dark matter motor is proof of that. Small, efficient, brutally powerful, and designed to eliminate the need for multiple heavy motors altogether. The irony: while the rest of the auto world is spending billions to catch up with, Tesla Koenigsegg is already operating in a different dimension. Their motors aren't just efficient, they're integrated. Their hybrids don't just comply with regulations, they outperform everything around them. And Christian, he's not chasing trends, he's setting new ones. Still, there's something else brewing. Something that hasn't been revealed yet. Insiders have reported strange test rigs, patents with abstract diagrams, quiet recruitment of energy specialists from outside the automotive world. There's a feeling inside the company, hard to pin down but impossible to ignore, that something big is coming. And it won't just be an update or a facelift.
It'll be a challenge, a statement, maybe even a declaration of war against the idea that electric cars have already won. Something changed at Koenigsegg in 2025. After months of uncharacteristic silence, the kind that only ever means something big is brewing, Christian von Koenigsegg finally emerged, measured, calm, and, as always, precise. Sitting across from a small group of engineers and close partners, he leaned forward and said the words that would set the tone for everything that followed. What followed wasn't a teaser or a flashy concept. It was an engine, a brand new combustion engine. Not a modified V8, not a scaled-up TFG, and definitely not a placeholder for electrification. This was Koenigsegg's answer to a question no one else in the industry seemed brave enough to ask anymore. What if combustion still had more to give? They built it from scratch. Compact, aggressive, and impossibly efficient. It runs on synthetic e-fuel, produces near-zero emissions, and weighs less than any comparable power plant Koenigsegg has ever developed. The design is entirely new, short-stroke, high-revving, with quad turbos and a free-breathing valve system that responds in milliseconds to driver input. Every component was optimized for responsiveness, thermal efficiency, and power delivery. And the power figures? Let's just say this engine alone puts out numbers that most electric hypercars still struggle to reach, even with dual motors. But it's not about raw output. It's about the feel, the way it pulls from idle, the balance it brings when paired with Koenigsegg's already cutting-edge electric drive systems. It doesn't replace the electric motor, it elevates it. The aftermath. A silent earthquake in the automotive world. The industry's reaction was telling. At first, there was silence, the kind that follows a disruption so profound that competitors need time to process it. Then came the carefully worded press releases from rival manufacturers, praising innovation in all forms, while quietly reassessing their own roadmaps. Behind closed doors, engineers scrambled to understand how Koenigsegg had achieved what physics textbooks said was borderline impossible. A combustion engine that matched electric drivetrains in efficiency while surpassing them in emotional intensity. Christian von Koenigsegg, characteristically, remained unfazed by the frenzy. This was never about proving anyone wrong, he remarked in a rare interview. It was about asking a better question. Why choose between emotion and progress when you can have both? The secret weapon. Synergy over sacrifice. What makes Koenigsegg's new engine truly revolutionary isn't just its standalone performance. It's how it integrates with the brand's existing hybrid architecture. Dubbed the symbiosis system, the setup allows the combustion engine and electric motors to operate in perfect harmony, each compensating for the other's limitations. At low speeds, the electric motors handle urban driving with silent efficiency, while the combustion engine remains dormant, conserving fuel. Under acceleration, the quad-turbo V8 wakes with a ferocious yet refined growl, its synthetic e-fuel burning cleaner than conventional gasoline. On track, the system's predictive algorithms anticipate gear shifts and cornering forces, seamlessly blending torque from both power sources to maintain optimal balance. The result? A car that behaves like a hyper-responsive EV in traffic but transforms into a thunderous, analog-feeling monster at the push of a button. No compromises, no apologies. The bigger picture. A challenge to the status quo. Koenigsegg's breakthrough forces an uncomfortable question upon the industry. Have we been too quick to declare the death of combustion? While governments mandate electrification and legacy automakers pour resources into battery tech, Koenigsegg's approach suggests an alternative path, one where sustainability doesn't require sacrificing driver engagement. Critics argue that synthetic e-fuels are still niche and expensive, but Koenigsegg's retort is pragmatic. So were lithium-ion batteries in the 1990s, notes the company's head of R&D. Scaling solves problems. The difference is, we're offering a solution for enthusiasts who aren't ready to let go of the soul of driving. Whispers of what's next. Insiders hint that the 2025 engine is just the first domino to fall. Patent filings reveal plans for an even more radical innovation, a variable compression block that dynamically adjusts its geometry based on driving conditions, further optimizing efficiency and power. There are also rumors of a collaboration with a major energy company to mass-produce carbon-neutral e-fuels at competitive prices, a move that could democratize the technology. Meanwhile, spy photographers near Koenigsegg's Angelholm headquarters have spotted prototypes testing a fully active aerodynamic system that makes the Jesko's rear wing look quaint. It's not just about downforce anymore, says an anonymous engineer. It's about redefining how air moves around a car in real time. The ultimate irony. In a twist that would delight any underdog storyteller, Koenigsegg's combustion hybrid technology has reportedly attracted interest from an unlikely quarter, Silicon Valley. At least two major EV startups, previously dismissive of old-school engines, have quietly reached out to explore licensing deals. The reason? Even they recognize that battery tech alone may not satisfy the next generation of performance buyers. The verdict: a new era of choice. Koenigsegg's 2025 masterstroke isn't just an engineering triumph, it's a philosophical one. By refusing to treat electrification and combustion as mutually exclusive, the company has opened a third door, one where the future of performance isn't dictated by dogma but driven by ingenuity. As the automotive world grapples with this paradigm shift, one thing is clear: the game has changed. And for those who still believe driving should stir the senses as much as it respects the planet, Koenigsegg has just handed them the keys to the future. Final thought: the best way to predict the future is to invent it. Koenigsegg's 2025 revolution proves that adage truer than ever. The question now isn't whether electric cars will dominate, it's whether they'll have to evolve to keep up. Christian explained, "We weren't interested in building a nostalgia piece. We wanted to create something that could outperform what's out there now and lead where others are following." In 2025, it wasn't bravado, it was confidence backed by years of obsessive development. While other manufacturers leaned harder into batteries, Koenigsegg went back to first principles, rethinking what an engine could be in a world obsessed with silent speed and synthetic thrills. The result isn't a rebellion, it's a revelation. This isn't the end of Koenigsegg's hybrid future, it's the foundation of it. An engine that brings the emotion back to performance. An engine that doesn't just survive the electric age but challenges it. And if Christian's right, it may have just redefined what comes next. So now the question is, if Koenigsegg just built a machine that outperforms every EV and keeps the soul of driving alive, is the electric revolution already outdated before it even peaked?